The following stuff we're going to be looking at in this video is going to be hella meme. Oh, dear lord. Hopefully things are going well for you. As for me, there's been some interesting stuff that happened to come out of the blue. Now, I did got an email, and no, I'm not talking about the one email from YouTube. We'll talk about that another time. However, what we do want to talk about is an email from Denpasoft that I managed to get a hold of. And this is some very interesting things because, oh boy, content apocalypse is a thing. And really, we have discussed about this in a previous video. And boy, oh boy, people are having a hard time creating things, and creators are having a hard time from all forms of entertainment, especially YouTube videos and video games and animes. They're having a hard time when it comes to content apocalypse. And yes, this is a content apocalypse situation. So, let's go ahead and just take a look at the email that was sent to me by Denpasoft. Actually, as a matter of fact, I may not be the only person that has gotten this email from Denpasoft. If you are a customer of Denpasoft and you have bought something from Denpasoft, there is a good chance you may have gotten this email. However, I have the email up, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, so, of course, the email. If you have gotten this email too, it would not surprise you. Don't let it surprise you if you got this email. I'm going to tell you right now. Hello. Please note that you may have unsubscribed from the previous newsletters from Denpasoft. I don't remember doing that. Must have been something that happened. However, we felt like this is important enough to email all our current and past customers who did not know what happened last month. And this next paragraph is going to be, yeah, well, no wonder. I understand. Good for letting everybody know, especially your past customers, about this stuff. Okay, so let's see what we got on that second paragraph, because this is going to be very shocking. On September 19th, 2020, our previous provider banned the site without warning. They refused to tell us what was the issue and told us we had 1 week to move. We spent the 1 week they gave us to rebuild the site up with minimal functionality at September 24th, 2020. Since then, we've restored many functions and are continuing to improve the site. Now, let me read that last sentence again. Since then, we've restored many functions and are continuing to improve the site. So basically, what happened is that their previous provider that gets the site powered up, that Denpasoft up and running, has basically given them the boot, and they're refusing to tell them a reason, and they were left with no choice but to, well, essentially just go and just rebuild themselves from the ground up. So, if you are to go to Denpasoft right now, they're back up and running, but however, expect to run into some issues because you can feel it. Alright, Denpasoft right now is struggling to basically handle things by themselves and handle things under new directions. And, however, I did make some edits because, okay, now you're going to get account-related instructions. That's going to be the paragraph after that paragraph. And then after that, there will be a paragraph that will tell you about customer support instructions. And however, there's going to be a PS that's going to give you a discount coupon. That's going to probably get you 25% off. That's a pretty good discount. But, goddamn, Denpasoft is having a really hard time. And, my goodness, we can feel Denpasoft's frustration with this. And I don't blame them if Denpasoft is, like, really frustrated and totally pissed off about it. This goes to show here that something just doesn't seem right, and something's going crazy. They haven't been given a reason. There's no reason as to why they went and did this. But however, if it's one thing for certain, developers and publishers, they're having a hard time trying to do what they can in terms of getting the creative vision and making what they want and doing what they want and publishing what they want. because there's always going to be these obstacles that are going to be brought up by this political / moral climate. It's going to get in the way, and thanks to this political / moral climate, people are having a hard time making and publishing whatever they want, especially uncensored, because things just go haywire thanks to this political / moral climate, and with this political / moral climate comes content apocalypse, and when content apocalypse strikes, developers and publishers are either backed into a corner and forced to either censor themselves or basically just get fucked up or get fucked over, or they just wind up getting fucked over. No prisoners. Like, that's how brutal this political climate is. And yeah, with this political / moral climate, I should have said that, because we have no idea if this climate is political or moral, but for one thing's for certain, there's definitely a good chance that this climate is either political or moral or both. You may never know, but thanks to this climate, we have content apocalypse, and content apocalypse is just hitting up people and hitting up devs and publishers, hitting up creators, hitting up directors, comic book writers, comic book creators, and really, to be honest with you here, it's gotten to a point where somebody has basically, okay, we need to make a Hollywood alternative. I don't remember where I read the article, but from what I did read, I heard somebody's trying to start another Hollywood, and really with the indie scene and all that stuff, I think that's a good thing. And also another thing to keep in mind, Denpasoft is a notable publisher and localizer of visual novels, especially the spiciest visual novels from Japan. So, yes, they have been known for their works of handling translations for eroges that would end up being showing up. Such examples would be Nekonin X Heart, had a good time with that. And there's Ditzy Demons, Are in Love with Me, and, of course, Kara Kara, which was on Kickstarter. Well, not Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Oh, yeah, and another thing about this political moral climate. Give me a second. Quality burp. Anyway, that totally said, given that political / moral climate, we got people trying to start a world culture war with Japan, because Japan is still refusing to censor themselves to pretty much appease to these moral / political campaigners or crusaders, and they're more about their target audiences, so they're going to do more about it. And we have seen this so-called world culture war becoming in effect, because really, to be honest with you here, I mean, the censorship mobs have came after Japanese devs. It hit Japanese devs so hard that there has been 2 devs that had to take deals from Tencent. That's how bad. That's how bad. And when it comes to the anime industry, animators are having to basically be stuck taking deals with Tencent as well. And I'm kind of wondering, is that political / moral climate having something to do with it? Because if that is the case, then this is not a good thing, and we're going to need to make an alternative industry. And really, to be honest with you here, I remember talking about it in my blog, but indie anime is going to have to be a damn thing. Indie anime will have to be a thing. And that stems us into a situation where this just goes to show, if we are left with no choice but to make an alternative industry, there's nothing we can do about it but to make that alternative industry. If we make this alternative industry, look what happened to comics. Like, there's an alternative comic industry. Like, you see Blade Devil, you see Common America, you see all these other comics just, like, relying on Kickstarter and Indiegogo and whatever means possible to make these comics go up from the ground, and they're free from any kind of political / moral guidelines, and they don't have to worry about that stuff. It's all out of the way. They can make whatever they want. And we've seen this happen to the comic scene, and look at what happened to comics, and look, there's a comics industry alternative like what we're seeing rising from the ground up, and it's going to happen. And really, to be honest with you here, and let's talk about YouTube. There's alternatives out there like BitChute, Library, Odyssey. That's going to end up happening. But really, an alternative industry that's going to be brought by the indie scene is basically going to be the way to cope with and basically curb out this political / moral climate, because, yeah, there's nothing we could do. This is where the shenanigans goes and goes. It just, there's no end to it. And with that totally said, I guess it's going to lead to a point, and really, it's already set in stone. We're going to be looking at something of what we like to call, or what I like to call, a second enlightenment. Or we're going to see an enlightenment, and we're going to see more and more people make whatever the hell they want, and they don't need no industry. They don't need something. They got this alternative industry that they got set up. Okay, there's going to be more and more stuff. But however, the stuff that the moral / political campaigners are trying to censor are stuff that you find in stuff that's like rated for older audiences. So when you come to the realization and then you see the Streisand effect take a role, guess what's going to happen? The Streisand effect is going to play a role, and we're going to see more and more stuff for older audiences. So, yeah, with that totally said, thanks to the Streisand effect that these people have pretty much will wind up enabling, should it continue, and really, it's already going to be set in stone. Well, what about the parents? What about finding something for family-friendly for my kid? It's going to be difficult. And who's to blame for that? The people who tried to get the stuff that's found in mature-rated stuff censored. They're going to share the blame. So, yeah, with that totally said, we got to figure something out, because this moral / political climate is getting out of hand, and we need to curb out content apocalypse, definitely. With that totally said, that is all I gotta say, and I'll be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out.